All right, guys, I'm going to start up the shave here. It's going to be another quick one. And same as yesterday, Midnight Stag is the scent for this soap splash and fragrance. The brush is a B35 from Zenith in this special color. The stainless steel version of the timeless razor. And this is the 68 gap open comb. And we're going to load up probably use number 508. Maybe 509 if I'm kind of behind in my Sharpie dots for the Nacet, but the title of the video and the body there, the description, will have the correct count. I'm going to do a little slurry lather, and because I'm short on time. And then here's the blade. My camera, I kind of wish I could hold it up really close and the camera would focus. Let's just try that. If I tap on the screen, let's see if it'll focus. See, it doesn't really have those macro features. Years ago, I think my camera did do that, but we have to settle. I mean, it's decent resolution. Those are the markings for the blade to show you it's the same. Because who in their right mind would shave with the same blade so many times? That hasn't even been flipped over except for once when I made a mistake. It's all on the same side. I don't guess it's all that important for people to count the sides that they use a blade on, right? Yesterday I did 5 swirls because 6 was still giving me plenty of lather. And I definitely started to feel the lack of lather at the end of the shave, but I still had more in the brush if I wanted to squeeze it out. So why don't we do 5 again? Just oh, you know what? Let's be creative. Why don't we do 4? Let's see if we can get away with just 4 swirls. Shake out enough of the water to where it's not going to dump out on my face. You can see it's not dripping anymore. 4 swirls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was 4.5. It's really hard just to do a few swirls like that. I do have a lather bowl nearby, but I'm not really going to use it except for containing the little liquid that came from the soap right there, because then I could maybe go and retrieve that at the end of the lather, you know, get my tips, because that does have some of the slurry, the soap in it as well, so that can only be helpful, right? I wet my face already. And sure enough, 4.5. Plenty of water for now. Plenty enough to fall out. So I started using the slurry lather with boar brushes, and I can't remember. I think I tried it on a badger or two since last August. And I think it did well. A little tuggy, but not uncomfortable. That's kind of the story for the Nacet lately. Now it's really very tuggy if I am shaving more than 1 day of growth. As I've stated many times, but I haven't really said it lately, one of the reasons I'm doing this is to help those who have low budgets, to encourage them with the fact that you can make your razor blade last a long time. I can take the surplus there, put it in a trouble area, hit that again if I want to. Because, you know, what if they buy 100 pack of blades and it's really stretching their budget? Now, if they have fallen for the myth that you can only get 5 shaves out of a blade, because that is something that is told to a lot of people, then you know, that 100 pack is not going to last them nearly as long, right? And so if they hear from me, or they hear about some guy who's making a blade last 500 times, then maybe that helps them to know that, you know, they could get a month out of a blade if they worked on their technique, if they worked on their lathering skills. Because a boar brush doesn't have to be expensive, at least usually. Synthetics are not very expensive, usually. And so they could get one of those brushes and get a soap like Sterling, or one of the hard soaps that last a long time. And then they could have economical shaves, you know, luxurious, comfortable, economic shaves, even if they can just barely afford things, you know. And so then that could turn a 100 pack that lasts just more than a year to something that lasts way more. Rinse now. All right, so third pass. One of the main reasons I'm doing it is because to get your blade to go far, you need to use, I believe, one of the big keys to it. Of course, the main principle is to reduce the wear on your blade, the microchipping that goes on, the dulling of the edge, you know. And so one of the big ways I think that is accomplished is by really wet, slick lathers, and then good razor technique. And so if people try to make their blades last just a little bit longer because they see me doing it, and I've had people report this back to me, what they discover is that they improve their shaving technique as a result of trying to get the blade to go farther. And so as a result of that, even if they choose not to use a blade 30 times before they bin it, even if they fall back to a week of shaving on one blade, then it's cool because they've got better shaving technique now, and they have better shave. The quality of their shaves has increased, and that makes me happy too. And there we go. I think that's 3 passes. I think that'll be good enough for today. So 3 passes and 4.5 swirls around in the soap, and we still have plenty enough to squeeze out of the brush right there to make a very luxurious pass of lather. Splash. In case you didn't know, splashes usually are intended only to last a short term after the shave. They're not intended to be a cologne that lasts several hours. Because the concentration of fragrance is just not that high. It's supposed to help you after the shave, help your skin, that sort of thing. Now there are some of the old school kind of splashes or aftershaves that are simply only going to help you with fragrance, give you a burst of scent, and then the antiseptic properties of alcohol, and that's all you get. You don't get any skin food or anything like that. But the newer ones, they are adding things like glycerin, and in fact, this splash I just used has witch hazel, I think, some things like that to help your skin a little bit. So there's the fragrance. I'm going to be smelling good all day. My kids may not like it too much. The Midnight Stag. And that's today's shave. Some places could use a bit of improvement. Usually my trouble spot on my neck here could have benefited from another pass, but time is short, so we'll just take down what we can. And that's it. 4.5. I mean, it works. I might even try 3 or something like that soon. So there we go. Take care now. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Good night.